talking about you coming over to Australia shortly, playing the Froth Fury Festival primarily. Of course, that's what this is about. But then also you've got your own tour, um, doing a few shows after that as well. So this is the first time you've been back in Australia for 2 years, I think, since Alpha Wolf.
2 years. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um, there's been one or two changes that have happened in your world since then. I mean, do you want to elaborate on what's changed since you were here in 2022?
Yeah, sure. I have a new record label. We have a new record label. It's called Sharp Tone Records. I'm sure that Australians would be familiar with them, considering they release, Alpha Wolf and Polaris and a couple other huge deal Australian bands.
Yeah.
Really lucky to be here. We're really happy. We got some things coming up with them, and we're really excited about those things. And that was a really good change, a really positive change. And then an equally positive change is that we have one new member, and we are without a drummer, but not without a drummer. You know, we just don't have one, but that's okay. We're not without one. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can always have a drum machine, and I don't know about in your neck of the woods, but certainly where we are in Adelaide, we've got like four insane drummers, and they play in about 27 bands.
They all do. And that's what I'm trying to move. I'm trying to avoid. See, that's my thing is that I appreciate that they play in 30 bands, but I don't want to be one of the 30. I'll just pay them and they'll
Yeah.
just play with us. And then that'll be it. The transaction will be over. Because I don't like I'm too needy. You know what I mean? I got a lot of feelings. You know what I mean? So when I don't get, the full attention, I'm a little jealous. So we just pay them, which I feel like works better for us.
Yeah.
um, that doesn't mean that that's like the only way that we're gonna be forever, but yeah, actually for this tour that we're doing, we Chaz from a band called Justice for the Damned from Australia
Yeah. Yeah.
is is playing drums for us, and he's incredible. So I'm just like, cool. And it saved me a ticket, so I was like, I'm just gonna fly to Australia and meet up with one of the best drummers I've ever met and just play with him. So that's kind of my move.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to be a bit cheeky here. Considering some of the things you just mentioned there, would you say that you suffer from LSD, lead singer syndrome?
um Yeah, I think so. Probably. Yeah, I think my guys would tell you that I do. Um, I'm just relentless, I think would be the word that they would use, probably. I hope. I don't really know. I'll ask them in the group chat when we get off. But yeah, no, I'm relentless. Like this is all I think about, and this is all I do. And this is, it's not all I do, but it's all I think about. And I put everything into this. So, you know, I'm my significant other, my partner calls me a shark. She says I'm like a shark because I'm just like constantly like swimming forward. Like there's no back,
Yeah,
there's no other options. I'm just like forward
focus.
always. Yep. So I do have lead singer syndrome for sure, of course.
Hey, talking about the you dropped the new track Forsaken a couple of months ago.
Yep.
Um, there, there was a little bit of a stylistic departure. Like, it wasn't massive. It wasn't like, Metallica in the mid-90s, but it was a departure nonetheless. Is that a dabble, or is that what we can expect moving forward?
Yeah, can I ask you a question in response to your question?
Of
I know
course.
that's kind of tricky of me as well. What about Forsaken stood out to you as different? Because I can't answer I wouldn't want to answer the question if I didn't know exactly what you meant by different. So what do you think?
Well, for me, it had more of a if you're talking levels of where bands play, it seemed
Mm,
to be like it was okay. We don't want to be doing clubs anymore. We've done club songs. This is now
sure.
we're going to be attempting to have stuff that's going to sound good in an arena.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Then you nailed it. Yeah, it is purposeful. And well, we released another song a couple months before that when we signed to Sharp Tone, which was called Hymn of Decay.
Mhm.
on it you heard Grayson, who's a new member, but has been with us since the first time we went to Australia. He toured with us that whole year and was in the band. And only just a couple months ago or years ago, a year ago, we discovered that Gray could sing, and he sings beautifully. Like he has an amazing voice. And so we started integrating that into songwriting. And then because Gray sings the way that he does and sings beautifully, he has such a soft and like just clear and clean voice. And when we went to the studio, we thought that it was going to be a thing where we used Gray a lot, like a lot of Gray everywhere, right? I was just going to scream and he was going to sing. And it proved that that like kind of wasn't what we needed and what we wanted. And Will Putney, who produces our records,
Yeah.
he kind of like pointed out, he was just like, this isn't, it's not that it's not going to work. He's like, but you can't just be gone. And so it forced me to like get a lot better and to try things I'd never tried. And so that kind of led me into trying the stuff I did on Forsaken. And so it kind of led us into this area where it was like, there are a lot of songs on the record where Gray isn't on them, but I'm still singing, like fully singing, like I've never sung before in Gag. And that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Gray and Gray's ability. And even if on the song that, you know, in Forsaken, Gray isn't on that song, it's just me. And so that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him, Hymn of Decay. If it wasn't for that song and those songs and everything that came after it, we wouldn't have been like, well, maybe Ethan will just sing this whole thing. And then I have to go sing the whole thing and not be just the guy in the background. So it was a pretty organic change, but I would say that I don't give a shit about people liking. I do. I care about people liking my band because I named it. You wouldn't have named your band if you didn't care.
Yeah.
Um, but I can honestly say that like we made a bunch of music that I didn't entertain the idea of anyone liking or disliking. It wasn't really a thought. And now that it's here, I'm realizing that we made a bunch of music that probably more people like. So it's just like a good byproduct of having like a new talented guy.
Yeah. A new flavor to the mix, but it's also the growth as well. I mean, as the years gone by, as you become more and more proficient in what you do, you're gonna stretch yourself and go outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
talking there, because I do actually have a comment about this. You mentioned there that you didn't care. All right, I'm not quoting you, right, but paraphrasing that you don't care, what people think and such forth. I did notice two things as I was like doing all my research for this on Twitter or X. The last comment, which was like a year ago, was that it's dying, and then I had a look at some of the YouTube comments as well, and I kind of got the impression that, and then I read an interview that you did maybe 2 years ago as well, where you were like, I don't, and you once made the mistake of looking at what people say. And
Yeah.
I'm just not interested. So, I mean, do you have then, was that a journey where you were like, "Ow, you got burnt a little," or are you just completely off social media, like you just think it's evil?
No, no. It wasn't a journey. I didn't get actually, you know what? I will say this. I got kind of burnt actually. That is true. You know what? I just know that for my mental health, like for something that I care about so deeply, we always joke about in the studio, we agonize over these things and we'll talk about something for an hour,
Hmm.
a line or even a word, just the way I'm saying a word. We could discuss it for an hour. And then once we get to the end of it, we're like, okay, that's how we're going to do it. We always make this joke where we're like, we just spent an hour talking about that thing that some kid is just going to type that sucks on and not think, not give a shit about, right?
Yeah.
And we spend an hour to care. And that's the trade-off, right? That's every musician knows this trade-off. Like how much blood and sweat and time away from your family and recording isn't like a vacation, like I'm not with my partner. So it's like we're all away and we're doing this thing. And it's such an interesting dichotomy because I'm both disinterested in what people say and also I'm in this industry where like what people say is very much all that fucking matters, right? Like I can like my music all I want, but if I put it out and no one cares, then I'm fucked, right? I can't, no one's gonna give me money. I don't know if I can swear in this interview, but I'm
You can do
swearing
what
in
you
the
want.
interview.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's such a weird dichotomy because it's like, I don't care. And when we made the record, I wasn't thinking about other people. I was just like, I want to do this because I was thinking about what I like. And I was like, I really like Nine Inch Nails and I really like, Architects and I really like Metallica and I really like these bands that are all, I mean, I just named extremely different bands or like Slipknot. Like I named four extremely different bands. And I was just like, I like these bands, so I'm gonna make music that I like that is inspired by the music that I listen to. And then you get to this point where like where we're at right now, where like we're gearing up to possibly do something release wise. And you're like, God, I hope someone likes it, but it's like I didn't care before. But I will answer your question directly that did I get burnt? I don't think that social media is evil because it's not.
Yeah.
Every tool is evil. There's just it's just a tool. A hammer can build a house or it can kill a person, right? It's not inherently evil in any way. It's just how you use it. And
Mm.
so some people use social media to be damaging or mean or hurtful, and that's their business. That's their problem. But that doesn't mean I need to like consume their negativity about the thing I care about the most. Something that is very like it's like disinteresting to them, they don't really care. And it's like everything to me
Yeah.
and they have the luxury of like being completely disconnected from it because they just like type a thing and then they're like boop see ya and then they leave and then they never see it again. Meanwhile I'm like in my house and I'm like fuck, why did that guy say it? So for my mental health I avoid it, but I did read a comment once on fuck lame goat probably, I don't know, but we made a post, somebody posted, I don't know, a song or who cares, and this kid said something about me getting drunk. He like laughed about me being like straight edge and was like, I saw him get drunk in a little town in New Hampshire, which is where I'm from, a little town in New Hampshire when he was 18, and he pissed all over himself. I've never drank anything in my life. Like I've literally just never done it. I've never drank. I've never smoked. I've never done drugs. I've never done anything. That's just who I am. So, and to see that thing and I was legitimately shook by it because I was like, that is patently made up, like actually not real at all. And that scared the shit out of me because I was like, what is happening? Like, where did this kid manufacture this? And now someone could read that. Well, I don't really care if someone reads that and thinks it's true because it's not. But I guess more like the concept freaked me out. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's fucking scary. Like that person just typed that. That had nothing to do with reality at all. So I don't know. That's where I kind of probably started my like crusade to be like, I am not reading these fucking things. I don't care. I don't care what they say. I don't care how many views we get. I don't look at that because musicians are inherently dissatisfied. We are dissatisfied people. That's what we are. Like if I headline a venue, my next thought isn't, "Oh my God, I finally made it." It's when do I headline the next venue? The
Yeah.
biggest one, the bigger one, right? So I get 100,000 plays on a video and I'm like, I want a million. That's just who we are. So like it's probably for the best that I don't
That's
consume.
fair enough.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
stay up.
Especially when you said that earlier, like what your partner said, which is you're just so focused that if you focused in on the comments, it would be a
A
slippery
fucking
slope.
a fucking
Yeah.
nightmare. I'd be in there just like furiously typing to some random person who doesn't care what
Fuck
I
you,
say.
12-year-old from Japan. Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
you.
exactly. I'm coming to your fucking house. Yeah, exactly. So no, I just avoid that. And you know what, my partner, I'm hard enough to deal with as it is. So she's a saint. So I don't need to do that.
Let's not open that door. So let's the tour. Okay, so you're going to be here with a Start Is Murder and Brenda Sacrifice.
Yeah,
Uh, and Loon. Loon's the fourth one as well, I think.
they
Um,
are.
so you've got this. I mean, this is a primarily a Froth and Fury festival one. I mean, what do you know about the festival? Do you know anything about it? Do you know? You just get the phone
Okay,
call.
so I just got a phone call. All I know about it is that it seems to be about beer. There's froth. That's all I got. And then that Fear Factory is playing.
Yes.
That's what we know. That's all we really know. I was like, because we confirmed the tour. we confirmed the tour because it was a Thy Art is Murder tour, and
Yeah.
we are very close with Thy Art, and we love that band, and we've been wanting to tour with them forever. So they just like it finally worked out. We've had a lot of tours with them that haven't worked out, and so they sent us this offer, and they were like, "Here's the thing," and there was like these dates, and then one of the shows was like 4,000 cap
Hmm.
because when you get a thing, you don't see the name of the fest. It just shows you where it is and how many people, the cap of the venue. And I was like, weird. I don't know why that one has a 4,000 cap, but I just didn't care.
Yeah.
And then we announced a tour, and then Froth and Fury announced, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Because, like, when you're in other countries, as I'm sure Australians understand, when you're in another country, you'll see a festival get announced and it's in another country. And you're like, if you're in a band, you're like, fuck, I wish I was playing that festival. And then if you're not in a band, you're like, fuck, I wish that was in this country because I'd like to go to it. And I felt that way about Froth and Fury. And then I realized that we were playing.
Nice. 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 Well,
Yeah.
it's in its fourth year, and it is getting bigger and bigger. It was in a brewery in previous years. Now it's not in the brewery this year because they've had to go for that bigger cap.
Yeah.
But it's still heavily sponsored by the same brewery that's there, which would be really great with you being straight edge. Um,
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait to try it out.
just works like a charm. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone else can drink beer. I'll be there. Whatever.
Yeah, cool, cool. I mean, you were mentioning about Thy Art as well and Brenda's Sacrifice. I've already interviewed Andy this week, and I missed the beat with that one, but hopefully we'll have Brenda's Sacrifice next week. I think they're down south. I think that might be part of the issue. I mean, have you
I think
done
that
anything? You done anything with them guys before?
I've never met those dudes.
Okay.
Weirdly, there's like a weird thing where sometimes you just have never met a band until you tour with them. You just have never been in the same room with them. I've never met any of those dudes ever, which is
Never got.
crazy because there's like a million bands that if we got on the tour, we'd know, members of or whatever. Like that Alpha Wolf tour, other than Pale Dust, because they're from Japan, we were like buds with Fit for a King, and obviously Alpha's like one of our best friends. So it was easy. But this one, I've never met Brand in my life, so I'm excited.
Yeah, cool. You are right, actually. Fear Factory on, so I'm guessing that they're the band that you're most looking forward to seeing.
Honestly, I'm just excited to see Fear Factory because I've never seen them, and
Oh, okay.
we have like a lot of influence with on like from Fear Factory. Um, but if I'm being truthful, I'm actually most excited to see Northlane. Like
Yeah,
I've never seen Northlane. I've been in the room again. I've met those dudes, but I've never seen them. And they record with the same dude that records us. They record with Will Putney.
yeah.
And I like a lot of their stuff. So I've always wanted to see them, and now I'm excited to see them in their home country. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, there are headliners. There are headliners. I know. I mean, there's going to be a few other bands on the bill that I would obviously recommend. But do you know what time you're going on yet? Have they give you set times?
No. Are there multiple stages?
Hey, sorry.
Are there multiple stages? There has to be, right?
Yeah, there's three stages. So there's going to be a punk stage, and then there's going to be like two main stages side by side. It's just a
Cool.
question of, I suppose, where you go and appear during the day.
I don't know. We're midway through the flyer, so I'm hoping like four. Four would be fun.
4 p.m.
Sure, I don't care. Whatever.
Nice.
Not after Thy Art, Fear Factory, or Northlane. That's my one.
Oh,
Those are my requests. I don't want to play after them. Other than
they're
that,
all after you. I know they're the top three, so they're
good.
all after you.
Thank
That's
God.
fine.
Thank God.
You can go and relax at that point.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
God.
is there, because I will let you go. I'm not supposed to take up too much time. Do you have anything else you'd like to add for anybody who hasn't seen Great American Ghost?
Ooh. No. I think that we say everything we need to say. I think you should just watch it. If you've never seen us, I feel very confident that if you've never seen us, we will be memorable. You'll remember us. So that's all I ask. Pay attention. And I just appreciate anyone's attention. And we love Australia, and I'm so happy to be back. So I mean, when we went to Australia with Alpha Wolf, it was like unbelievable. It was like the most amazing international tour I've ever done in my life. It was just different. So we've
Right.
been anxious to get back. So I'm excited. So let's go.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I will see you in a couple of weeks. I'll be there, so I'll bump into you, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for rescheduling as well. And
Thank you.
safe travels, and I'll see you in a few weeks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Ethan. Take care, buddy.
Have a good one.